Good evening. Welcome, everyone. Thank you all for joining us today as we dive into the public comment period for the draft 2021 regional plan. My name is Allison Wood. I'm a senior regional planner at SANDAG, and I'll be leading the virtual open house this evening for the unincorporated San Diego County communities. Simultaneous interpretation in Spanish is available during this Zoom meeting. Before we get started, I would like to ask our interpreter, Carlos, to introduce himself and walk through how to access our interpretation services for today's meeting. Carlos?
Thank you and good afternoon. As was just stated, we do have simultaneous interpretation available. In order to use the feature, please scroll down to the bottom of your Zoom screen where your meeting controls are. Then click on the interpretation icon. It looks like a little world, and then select English as your language. If you are joining through the Zoom mobile app on a cell phone, tablet, etc., first press the ellipsis, then interpretation, and then choose your language. Finally, click on mute original audio to not hear the Spanish low in the background. I will now repeat this message in Spanish. Buenas tardes, como se acaba de anunciar, vamos a contar con servicio de interpretación. Para hacer uso del mismo, por favor, desplácese a la parte inferior de la pantalla de Zoom, donde aparecen sus controles. Haga clic en el icono de interpretación, parece un globo terráqueo, y seleccione Spanish o español. Si está utilizando la aplicación móvil de Zoom en celular, tableta, etc., presione primero los puntos suspensivos, luego interpretación y luego el idioma. Por último, si no desea escuchar el audio original en inglés en el fondo, por favor seleccione Mute Original Audio o silenciar audio original. Gracias and thank you.
Thank you, Carlos, and welcome once again to everyone joining us today. A few housekeeping items to note. For those who logged into this meeting with Zoom, we will keep you muted unless you wish to speak during the public comment section at the end of the open house. We'll post helpful information and links in the chat throughout the evening. Thank you for joining us. Your input is imperative to developing the final 2021 regional plan. Throughout the past couple of years, SANDAG has been hard at work developing the plan for the future of transportation in the San Diego region. Now through August 6th is the time the draft plan is available for review and public comment. We'll be sharing a lot more information this evening, and you'll hear from staff and local leaders and have an opportunity to share your comments. Your input will help our future transportation system work better for everyone in our region. This is an opportunity to make your voice heard. We'll have two presentations. At the end of our presentations, we'll open the floor for your comments. During this time, we invite you to raise your hand virtually using the raise hand feature on Zoom or by dialing *9 on the telephone. When it's your turn to comment, we'll read out your name or the last 4 digits of your phone number and unmute your line. Please remember to use the interpretation function to hear translated audio in English and Spanish. We'll repeat these instructions when we get to that portion of the meeting. If you encounter technical problems, please send a message via the webinar chat box or call 858-275-6176. Don't worry, we'll repeat this and it will be in the chat when we get to that point. We'll go through some of the details of the draft 2021 regional plan tonight, but it's a big plan and we can't go through everything from around the region in a few short hours. So if you'd like to learn more or explore on your own, feel free to pull out your smartphone and scan the QR code shown here with your camera. This will take you to our website where you can find all sorts of information on the draft plan, the public comment period, and more. I'll give you a little more time to capture that QR code. And if you don't have a QR code, you can go to our website, sdforward.com. During or after this meeting, you can submit public comments in several ways. We accept comments at sandag.org/regionalplancomments. We also accept comments by email, phone, fax, and mail. Remember, this is your chance to help transform transportation in our region. We hope you'll take a quick moment to share your feedback. To kick off this evening discussion, I'm honored to introduce 2 special guests, SANDAG's Second Vice Chair and National City Mayor Alejandra Sotelo Solis, and Tribal Transportation Working Group Chair Erica Pinto. Chairwoman Pinto represents the Southern California Tribal Chairmen's Association on our Transportation Committee, where she has supported the integration of tribal concerns in the 2021 regional plan. She also serves as the chair of the Jamul Indian Village of California. We look forward to hearing from you in just a few moments, Chairwoman. First, I will hand things over to Mayor Alejandra Sotelo Solis, a third-generation National City resident and UC San Diego alumni. Mayor Sotelo Solis also serves as the chair of our Public Safety Committee and vice chair of the MTS Board. Thank you so much for joining us, and take it away, Second Vice Chair.
Is she on mute? Mute.
I don't hear her. Let's see. I think we're not hearing Mayor Sotelo Solis. Let's see. Chairwoman Pinto, can we test your audio as well? Can you say a few words?
Testing, can you hear me? Testing. Can you hear me?
We can hear her. Okay, thank you, Chairwoman. We can hear
Okay,
you. We
good.
can hear you.
Okay.
Looks like Mayor Sotelo Solis has logged back in. If we can promote her, please. Okay.
Well, I have to tell you, my speech was amazing. I went through the whole thing. Well then, so, you know, in this time of Zoom, I was just sharing. I have to say thank you all for joining us today. Buenas tardes. Today is a fabulous day to get together here online and to explore the draft 2021 regional plan and what it means for you and your community. I'm Alejandra Sotelo Solis, the mayor of the city of National City, and the second vice chair, as was mentioned earlier, of the board of directors for SANDAG. And we are the ones tasked with planning the future of transportation throughout our region. And every few years, SANDAG updates its regional plan, a blueprint for stop recording. Recording in progress, fabulous. I will pick back up. So what we do is we create that blueprint for land use and transportation planning in our region here in San Diego. And it goes through 2050, the year of 2050. I'll still be 21 years old by 2050. So as we go through, on May 28th, SANDAG released the draft 2021 regional plan for public comment. This draft plan will enhance quality of life by making our transportation system faster, fairer, and cleaner than ever before. Faster by optimizing traffic flow and making transit more frequent and convenient. Fairer by improving social equity with expanded transportation options and community opportunities for historically underserved communities. Cleaner by meeting our state and federal requirements related to climate change, clean air, and investing in greener transportation options, and helping to implement the local climate action plans and housing goals of our municipalities. And now that the draft plan has been released for all of you, the public to review, we really want to hear your voice. We want to hear from you. This is a once in a generation opportunity to fundamentally improve the lives of all San Diegans here in the county. The plan outlines a roadmap for making it easier to get to work, school, and all those other destinations that we know and love. So it will help us reduce harmful emissions that contribute to climate change. It will help make our streets safer for everyone, whether you drive, ride, take a bike or walk, and it will improve safety by enhancing evacuation routes. It will also expand commuter rail, bus, and trolley services, giving us all more options to get around our region. So like I said, this is a draft plan. And before the board of directors votes on this later this year, we want to hear from you. You are invited to share your thoughts with us. Please do. And we want to thank you for being here and participating on this in this important public process. Now, I'm thrilled to introduce Chairwoman Erika Pinto, who was I don't want to steal her thunder, but she's amazing. And she was just reelected for another 4 more years. So we have a chairwoman here for 4 more years as a fearless leader for the Hamul Indian Village regionally. So felicidades, congratulations. And as Allison mentioned, Chairwoman Pinto is the Tribal Transportation Working Group Chair and represents the Southern California Tribal Chairmen's, but I'm going to say Chairpersons Association on the SANDAG Transportation Committee. And again, is the re-elected chair of the Hamul Indian Village of California. Chairwoman Pinto is keenly aware of the transportation challenges and opportunities in the unincorporated area and the impacts that all modes of transportation can have. It's truly been my pleasure to work closely with the chairwoman, and I'm so glad that she is joining us tonight. And with that said, I would like to hand it over to you, Chairwoman.
Mayor Sotelo Solis, you are my hero. You are a trailblazer, and I admire you so much. Thank you for the introduction. I'm happy to be here tonight and joining everybody. I want to first start off by saying that I'm joining you live from Kumeyaay territory, downtown San Diego. And I want to say thank you for lending your voice to the draft 2021 regional plan. As Mayor mentioned, I'm Erica Pinto. I represent the Southern California Tribal Chairpersons Association on the SANDAG Transportation Committee, bringing a tribal and rural perspective to discussions on the future of transportation throughout the region. As she mentioned also, I celebrate tonight. I have been victorious in a re-election for the Hamul Indian Village. So you're stuck with me on the transportation side, and I'm happy to be here tonight. So on May 28th, the SANDAG board released the draft 2021 regional plan for public comment. This marks a significant milestone for the regional plan as it gives us the opportunity to hear directly from you. During today's event, we want to hear your thoughts on what is to be included in the draft plan and to help answer any questions that you may have. Over the next couple of weeks, we will be hearing from diverse communities throughout our San Diego region. The 2021 regional plan is a once in a generation opportunity to fundamentally improve the lives of all San Diegans. The 2021 regional plan is an exciting thing. It's an exciting document. It's ever changing. And I'm excited to see that SANDAG has included so many diverse stakeholders in this process. This public comment period is an opportunity for you to learn, ask questions, share your thoughts regarding the plan and the future of transportation in San Diego. Your input today is vital. Your comments are critical to letting SANDAG know the needs of your community. Public comments will be officially recorded in the 2021 regional plan and will help inform the final document. There's going to be a lot of questions and thoughts on the content presented today, I'm sure. I would like to reiterate what Colleen mentioned earlier. Today's question and answer session is your opportunity to learn and understand what's in the draft 2021 regional plan. Therefore, all questions, comments should be centered on the content of the draft 2021 regional plan. Remember also, you can always submit official public comment or reach out to your local elected officials to learn more. SANDAG staff are here to help you better understand what is in the draft plan. And if you have a local elected official, please reach out to them. Serving on the SANDAG board of directors, reach out to them. This draft 2021 regional plan is an important step as we continue to improve our communities and protect our environment and serve every member of the region. So please, I encourage you to engage, submit your thoughts. We want to hear all about it. Help us plan for the transportation system for tomorrow. And with that, I will hand it back over. Thank you so much. And I look forward to your questions and discussion. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Sotelo Solis and Chairwoman Pinto. Now we'll move to the short video that features the leaders of our board. Our SANDAG Chair and Encinitas Mayor Catherine Blakespear, our Vice Chair and San Diego Mayor Todd Gloria, and our second Vice Chair and National City Mayor Alejandra Sotelo Solis. The video gives you an opportunity to hear from them and from staff on what the plan encompasses and how it will impact our region. One moment while we get the video queued up. Bear with us, folks. One more minute.
Welcome to the 2021 Regional Plan Virtual Open House. The draft 2021 Regional Plan sets the stage for an exciting new era in San Diego County. And now that the draft plan is complete, we want your input as we seize this once-in-a-generation opportunity to improve the lives of every resident in the San Diego region.
What a journey it has been to get to this point. Years of planning, studying, listening, and learning. Now, we have an opportunity to enact a transformative vision that will make it easier to move around our region, improve our quality of life, add jobs, grow our economy, protect our environment, and create equitable access to opportunity. This is a moment for all of us.
This is a moment for our San Diego region. This is your moment. Our future is brightest when we work together to achieve a shared vision. So we want to hear from you. Your voice matters.
The 2021 Regional Plan is a blueprint for land use and transportation planning in the San Diego region through 2050, charting a course for the future of how we get around. At SANDAG, we have been developing this plan for years, using advanced data, working with industry leaders, and incorporating your feedback all along the way.
Our region is growing, and our transportation system needs to keep up. This plan will help us build a system that truly works for everyone. A system that is faster, fairer, and cleaner.
We're in. Are you?
The San Diego region is a beautiful place, full of vibrant communities, diverse cultures, and exciting possibilities. Our booming industries like biotech, life sciences, defense, and more have brought new jobs and opportunities to our region, attracting a growing workforce. But as the region continues to mature, our current transportation infrastructure is straining. Congestion is worsening, affecting our quality of life. Greenhouse gas emissions are increasing, impacting the health of our region and its people. And prior decisions have left some of our communities under-resourced and underserved. Now is our time to address these problems head-on and improve all of our communities for generations to come.
This plan is the product of thousands of conversations with people across the San Diego region. We interviewed residents and held public meetings. We gathered data to understand where people are living, where they're working, and identify patterns in how they're traveling. We didn't just rely on assumptions from past plans. We built a new regional plan from the ground up, developing an integrated system of projects, programs, and policies to help you get where you need to go.
These community-driven conversations help us gain a better understanding of your daily struggles to make it to work on time. Drop kids off at school, go to the grocery store, and get errands done. We listened to your transportation priorities and areas of concern. We analyzed our region's current transportation habits. And we worked with experts to integrate the latest trends in transportation technology. Every piece of public input helped shape this new transportation vision.
The 2021 Regional Plan is an investment in the future of our region. It lays out a strategy for smart regional growth and a more efficient transportation network. Whether you drive, take transit, walk, or ride a bike, The plan is designed to make your commute safer and easier.
The San Diego region's environment and rich biodiversity are vital resources to protect. The plan advances greener, more sustainable transportation choices so we can preserve the beaches, coastlines, open spaces, and sensitive habitats that are so important to our region. Together, we have the opportunity to create healthy communities today, tomorrow, and for future generations.
The 2021 Regional Plan aims to save you time and get you where you need to go faster. Complete quarters may make our infrastructure more efficient with dedicated safe spaces for everyone, from transit riders to drivers to freight vehicles to people who walk and bike. And by using the most up-to-date technology, we can manage traffic on our highways and major roads in real time.
Our transportation vision makes it easier to connect to every part of the region, and for the first time, gives you realistic and convenient alternatives to driving. For example, the new bus rapid transit and passenger rail enhancements will provide fast and easy connections to shopping, outdoor recreation, medical offices, employment centers, and the region's schools and universities, expanding equity and access to opportunity so you can focus on the things that matter most.
Fast and reliable transportation does more than keep our region moving, it connects us to the world. The 2021 Regional Plan will help products made in our region continue to access the global marketplace while ensuring vital freight and goods can also make their way back to us. This is a plan to replace our aging infrastructure with 21st century solutions and help our economy and job market stay strong.
Improving the safety of our transportation system is another goal of the 2021 Regional Plan. The proposed system will help improve the safety of all travelers. This includes a commitment to Vision Zero, which aims to eliminate traffic deaths and severe injuries on our streets. The plan will bring us closer to that reality by implementing safe street designs, slower speeds in some areas, and policies to protect people who bike, walk, drive, and more.
No day is the same, and you need flexibility in your commute. On-demand services or flexible fleets will offer fast and affordable solutions to make that critical first and last mile connection between your home, transit, or your final destination. Many of us already use these services today when we hop on a scooter or hail a ride with our smartphones. And as technology evolves, the regional plan is designed to integrate new flexible fleets into our transportation system, creating a seamless connection from start to finish. It's about creating a future where transportation choices are there when you need them.
Managing the regional transportation network with the latest in transportation technology, what we call the Next Operating System or Next OS, can make your commute more efficient. Next OS can help you make informed travel choices by providing up-to-the-minute information about nearby options, travel times, and pricing, so you can choose what works best for you.
SANDAG is committed to creating a transportation system that works, no matter where you live, how you travel, or where you're going.
The 2021 Regional Plan will provide us with a more convenient, safe, and resilient transportation system.
It's a plan to help you save time and give you more transportation choices.
A plan to protect our local environment and preserve our open space and natural resources, all while reducing pollution and climate warming emissions.
It's a plan to bring greater equity to our transportation system and invest in our underserved communities. The 2021 Regional Plan is a vision for our future.
A future that is faster, fairer, and cleaner than ever before.
Your participation and input is critical. Thank you for being here today and helping us reimagine the future of transportation in the San Diego region for everyone. This is our moment. Let's build it together.
I hope you enjoyed that video, which featured many of the places we call home. Our home is an amazing place, and there's so much to love about the San Diego region and all of its unique communities. Preserving this special place for future generations is gratifying, and it will take a lot of work and investment. We believe it's worth it. In a few minutes, I'll provide you with an overview of the draft 2021 Regional Plan and its significance to the San Diego region. First, let me take a quick moment to tell you about SANDAG. SANDAG is the region's planning agency. We have a board of directors made up of elected officials from each of the region's 18 cities and the County of San Diego. We plan and implement a wide variety of projects and programs all over the region. You may have seen some of the work SANDAG has completed in recent years in different parts of unincorporated San Diego County. Earlier this year, we finished construction on phase 2 of the Inland Rail Trail, which is a multi-use path that connects Escondido, San Marcos, Vista, and unincorporated San Diego County. In 2017, we partnered with Caltrans to complete the SR 76 East project, which developed a 4-lane highway and improved the SR 76 I-15 interchange. Right now, we're partnering with Caltrans again for the Otay Mesa East Port of Entry project, which will create a 21st century border crossing for the San Diego, Baja California mega region that will enhance regional mobility and fuel economic growth and binational trade. One of the key responsibilities of SANDAG is to develop a regional plan that's updated every 4 years. The regional plan is a long-term blueprint for how the San Diego region will grow and how we will get around. Without a plan, experts say, you'll just have a bunch of projects that don't coordinate with each other. This plan takes into account many important issues, like how we travel to work, schools, shopping, and recreation. And it also looks at what's the best land use for areas near transit or next to sensitive habitat. It reaches from the international border in the south to the Anza Borrego Desert in our eastern region and Orange and Riverside counties to the north. It encompasses the needs of our tribal neighbors and our rural residents. What makes this plan unique from plans of the past is our approach. Our society has shifted quickly in the last 20 years with the advent of computers, smartphones, and the Internet of Things. We took advantage of the tremendous amount of data generated by all of it to map out a transformational data-driven plan. We focused on where people want to get to and how we can best get them there, all the while concentrating on sustainable approaches and equitable policies for those who've been left out of past decisions. We've been working on this plan for more than 2 years since the SANDAG board put us on a path to develop a bold new vision for the region back in February 2019. After extensive community engagement, data analysis, and planning, we presented that vision to the board and the community in August 2020. Now we've turned that vision into the draft 2021 regional plan, detailing how we bring the vision to life. Throughout this process, we've been focused on gathering community input, even during the pandemic, meeting with residents and businesses, conducting focus groups, and hearing from diverse voices throughout the region. During these discussions, both in person before the pandemic and virtually since then, we heard about a variety of issues that are important to you. We've heard that transit is not convenient, it's not fast enough, frequent enough, and it doesn't connect people to where they need to go. We've heard that people do not feel safe on our streets, especially walking or biking. And throughout the US, 25,000 people were killed while walking between 2016 and 2019. In our region, most people drive alone to work because they lack an alternative to driving, and this worsens traffic on our roadways. We've also heard that many of you are concerned about our environment. Driving is the primary contributor to greenhouse gas emissions, leading to climate change as the Earth's temperatures rise. And we're already seeing impacts of climate change and expecting things to get worse. Sea levels will continue to rise. Wildfires, heat waves, and droughts will be more common. These issues are not new, and they are reflected in the 3 biggest challenges we need to overcome as a region. We must adopt a regional plan that addresses congestion, improves social equity, and meets state and federal environmental laws. Some of those state laws are new, and they're one of the most important things we have to keep in mind when developing this plan. There are a variety of state and federal laws related to the environment and environmental justice, but the big takeaway is this. By 2035, we're required to reduce greenhouse gases by 19% per person compared to 2005 levels. And to do this, we need a transportation system that provides options. With all of this in mind, we outlined a vision for a complete transportation system that serves the entire region. Faster, fairer, and cleaner travel choices can help our communities be resilient to a changing climate. We want to create a system that connects everyone to the people and places they care about quickly, safely, and conveniently. We want to expand access across the region opening up transportation choices to every person in our community and advancing social equity goals. And we want to preserve our quality of life and the environment we all love by making the air cleaner and reducing emissions. We can imagine a brighter future for our region. The 5 big moves are 5 strategies for addressing our challenges. Together, they are the system that makes the 2021 regional plan unique. The 5 big moves are complete corridors, transit leap, mobility hubs, flexible fleets, and the next operating system. Complete corridors are roadways that accommodate all modes of transportation with technology to manage how they're used. Transit Leap is fast and frequent transit service that benefits from technology that makes it more reliable and convenient. Flexible fleet services are the full spectrum of app-enabled mobility services for all different types of trips, from bikes and scooters to ride-sharing. Mobility hubs are communities where all modes of transportation come together seamlessly, and it's safe and easy to get around without a car. And at the heart of the 5 big moves is the NextOS platform, which uses data and technology to manage the transportation system and services. The regional plan brings the 5 big moves together to create a complete transportation system. Now, we're planning out to the year 2050. Just imagine how much will change in the next 30 years. By 2050, 400,000 more people may be calling our region home, and this will require more housing and lead to more job growth in the region. I mentioned earlier that we approach this plan differently than we ever have before. We use data in a new way to help us understand the transportation needs of the region. Past plans have been a refresh of a list of transportation projects. This time, we looked at data on where people live and work and how they travel around the region. The map on the left shows where people live in the region. The darker the color, the more people that live in that area. The map in the middle shows the areas where we have highest concentration of jobs in the region. We call these employment centers. And in the map on the right, the purple lines show all the people from all across the region traveling to their jobs in those employment centers. The darker the line, the more trips that are being made for that connection. Now, work trips are not the only trips that people need to make. So we also use data to understand how and where connections are being made for other types of trips. And all this data helped us to identify the right transportation solutions to meet the different needs of communities across the region. Now, what does this reimagined transportation system look like? I'm going to describe the regional system, and later you'll hear from Tuere Faola about specific projects in the county unincorporated areas. We start with mobility hubs. These are the areas where most people live and work today, and where we will see more people and jobs in the future. In these areas, you'd be able to easily access transit or other flexible fleets. Local buses serve many communities with more frequent service. The complete corridors provide a fully connected system of managed lanes, which are similar to what we have on Interstate 15 today. These lanes would have options for people to use transit, rideshare, or pay a charge to use them when driving alone. Complete corridors also include critical improvements on our rural roadways. Next generation rapid buses would make use of the managed lanes as a fast, convenient transit option in many communities. Next, we have our light rail system. This includes the trolley and the sprinter. We envision more frequent trains and longer hours of service. Finally, the commuter rail system. Imagine fast trains traveling below ground in tunnels or above ground, providing quick connections to jobs and popular destinations. I'm sure many of you have experienced transportation systems like this in other parts of the world. This would be truly amazing for our region. This plan delivers on the goals I described earlier. Most importantly, we meet all state and federal requirements, including our greenhouse gas reduction target. How does this plan address the worst traffic during commute hours? Imagine being able to easily grab a flexible fleet, hop on a bus or a train with a reasonable travel time to work. Our computer models show that by 2035, driving alone would decrease and more people would use transit to get to work. By 2050, this trend continues. By allowing for more choices, we can help to ease traffic on our roadways. Right now, owning a car is expensive, and transit just takes too long, and doesn't work for most people. In this plan, we look closely at transit access for people with low incomes, people of color, and seniors. For all of these populations, the percent of people living within a half mile of transit increases threefold. Living close to fast and frequent transit makes it a convenient option for traveling around our region. With the addition of flexible fleets, transit can reach into even more communities. Now, I'll turn it over to my colleague, Tueri Faola, to take us through more detail for our unincorporated communities.
Thank you. So I'm pleased to be here today to discuss the draft 2021 regional plan focused on the unincorporated parts of the county. One of the reasons the San Diego region is such a special place is because of the rural areas. Our rural communities make up 2/3 of our region. There are 17 federally recognized tribal governments with 18 reservations. That is the most in any county in the United States. Our unincorporated region includes the Tecate Port of Entry, a vital contributor to our region's binational economy and the movement of goods. Speaking of goods, our unincorporated region has over 360 certified organic farms, more than any other county in the nation. And it is home to Anzo Borrego State Park and Cleveland National Forest, which offer recreational activities, but are also a haven for many protected wildlife and plants. These are just some of the things that make the unincorporated parts of our county so special. And that's why with the development of the draft 2021 regional plan, we sought to create a balance of transportation projects and programs that would protect and preserve our rural areas while also improving access and safety for its residents and visitors. Because this area is so large, I'm going to first talk about the plan's proposed projects in the north and then the south. And then we tie it all together with the technology improvements that make this an integrated system for the unincorporated region, a system that connects us all and gives everyone transportation options. So there are 3 phase years in the 2021 regional plan, 2025, 2035, and 2050. And I'm going to highlight for you the unincorporated county projects in each of those phase years. Here on the map, you can see the existing projects are within reach of our unincorporated residents. Currently, the only transportation options besides driving alone is for someone to drive to Escondido to access transit or the I-15 express lanes. By 2025, we will have implemented smart intersection technology improvements along State Route 76, State Route 78, and 79 as seen in the green, and the local road shown in gold in the map. These technology investments are critical to support additional investments that are planned for these corridors. The smart intersection system allows us to process data for traffic signal controllers, sensors, connected vehicles to monitor and adjust to current operations. With this technology, we can improve travel times for vehicles and goods movement, reduce stop and go conditions, and create a safer environment at local intersections. A true benefit of smart sensor technology is that it can create a safer environment for people who walk and people who bike, and the sensors can provide data on collisions and near misses so that unsafe intersections can be identified for improvements. You can also see the addition of a mobility hub in Escondido, which is planned to be supported by flexible fleets such as shared ride services, which help to improve access and provide mobility options for rural residents. And these benefits would reach beyond the pink area that you see here on the map. By 2035, we will have fully implemented all of the technology improvements such as dynamic lane assignment, speed harmonization, and real-time traveler information and dynamic routing. These new tools on the corridors will allow us to manage, monitor, and respond to changing traffic demands, but also implement safety features along each of these corridors. By 2035, some of the projects that were identified by the tribes on transportation solutions needed to improve access and safety for employees, for residents and visitors alike will be implemented. And this includes straightening curves and other facility improvements on State Route 76 between Rice Canyon Road and Paula Reservation, intersection improvements on State Route 76 at Cole Grade Road and Palmer Reservation Road, shown as the green dots on the map, And State Route 79 will also see intersection improvements at Schoolhouse Canyon Road. And by 2050, even more improvements are planned for State Route 76. This includes new facility improvements on State Route 76 between State Route 79 and Valley Center Road, curve straightening between Harold's Road and Poma Rancho Road, additional shoulder widenings between the western and easternmost boundary of the reservations, and intersection improvements at Paula Mission Road. State Route 79 also has shoulder widening improvements planned between Deer Canyon Road and San Felipe Road. All these improvements provide better and safer access to the urban parts of the county and provide connections to jobs, shopping, medical facilities, and will help with evacuations for fire-prone areas. By 2050, the full system of managed lanes will be complete. This includes managed lanes on both State Route 78 and all of Interstate 15. And there will be new transit options such as the next-gen rapid services that will be available along with the full investments of mobility hubs and flexible fleets, giving the unincorporated North true travel options to connect to any other part of our county, whether you choose to drive or take transit. So now I'm going to walk through those same 3 phase years for the unincorporated South region. So here are the existing transportation options for the unincorporated South. And as you can see on the map, there's an existing light rail line that connects to Santee and the I-15 express lanes that end just north of State Route 52 as the options that start to connect our rural areas with the urban areas. And just as I said for the unincorporated North, in the South, by 2025, there are technology investments for smart intersections, which can include smart sensors to detect people who walk or people who bike at intersections on the local roads shown in gold and the rural corridor shown in green. You also begin to see mobility hub and flexible fleet investments, with the closest to the unincorporated South being the Gateway Mobility Hub at El Cajon. Starting these investments in 2025 can begin to expand the reach and accessibility of our existing transit for those in unincorporated South, particularly for those who are transit dependent and for underserved communities, including people of color, seniors, and people with limited incomes. State Route 67 access for emergency evacuations and first responders are critical for this corridor. There is an existing project that will begin this summer that's being completed in partnership with Caltrans, SANDAG, and the County of San Diego. It will incorporate 18 miles of fiber between Lakeside and Ramona. This broadband connectivity is needed for the technology solutions that were proposed to improve operations, improve traffic flow, and to improve safety. Also, adding fiber begins to close the digital divide gap and expands access for affordable high-speed internet services in these communities. By 2035, all of the corridors shown in green will have completed the necessary technology investments that allow us to monitor and manage the demands and improve safety along these corridors. Again, these improvements, such as dynamic lane assignment and speed harmonization, as well as real-time traveler information. State Route 67, which is being studied by SANDAG and Caltrans as part of the San Vicente Comprehensive Multimodal Corridor Study, will see shoulder widening and straightening between Maple View and Dye Road as part of the draft 2021 regional plan. Interstate 8 West Willows Road interchange will be improved, and State Route 94 at Melody Road will have intersection improvements. Both corridors are important for goods movement throughout our region. And more infrastructure is planned by 2050. There will be intersection improvements on State Route 78 between Deer Canyon Road and Santa Isabel, and shoulder widening and straightening on State Route 94 between Humul Reservation and Tecate Road. The Interstate 8 corridor will also have interchange improvements at East Willows Road and a new on-street active transportation project along the corridor between Lake Jennings Park Road and State Route 79. Automobile crashes are the third leading cause of death for people between the ages of 15 and 44. In rural areas, the number of annual fatalities is disproportionately higher than in the urban areas. The technology improvements I previously mentioned on all of the corridors seen in green on this map for the unincorporated county can help address these safety issues. Technology is rapidly advancing, changing how people communicate and how we travel. The intelligent transportation system technology improvements we're making on these corridors can help address safety and localized congestion that is experienced in rural communities, particularly in areas where infrastructure modifications may not be feasible. All of the rural corridors on this slide are slated for advanced technology solutions that address the unique challenges faced in rural environments, such as evacuation and emergency response teams, extreme weather events, or seasonal or time of day congestion that can overwhelm our roadways. And while all of these technology improvements would be completed by 2035, the first stage of implementation involves expanding the fiber communications backbone along those rural corridors, like what is currently happening for the 18 miles on State Route 67. Fiber will bring the high-speed broadband connectivity that is needed to operate the intelligent transportation solutions, but it also brings high-speed and more affordable internet service to the communities along these corridors and to our tribal nations. In this slide, the map shows the census blocks in the region where fiber is present. And the map on your right here shows the areas in our region that have fixed broadband service as it's federally defined. What you can see in both maps is that there is a major gap in our unincorporated communities. The technology investments in the 2021 plan will expand fiber, which will be critical for high-speed connectivity to these underserved communities. Once this fiber is in place, a wide range of technology solutions can be deployed to address common safety issues, improve traffic flow, and facilitate emergency response and evacuation that I spoke about earlier, and that you can see in the images here. From advanced vehicle and driver warning systems to prevent crashes and keep traffic moving, smart intersections that adapt to traffic or emergency response vehicles, and dynamic message signs that tell you when to merge lanes. All of these, the improvements we've shown and spoke about, integrate with the full transportation system as seen here in the draft 2021 regional plan. It is a system that works together and improves access and safety for our unincorporated county, while also preserving our beautiful landscape, which is part of what makes San Diego so special. Thank you all for being here today. I'll now turn it back over to Allison.
Thank you, Tuere. We've gone through a lot of information tonight about what the plan will bring to rural communities. If you'd like to learn even more or want to know about plans for other areas in the region, we have several resources with more details. If you haven't already, I encourage you to visit sdforward.com to review the draft plan, which is available in both Spanish and English. There are 3 chapters of the plan. Chapter 1 outlines the vision and goals. Chapter 2 is all about the Sustainable Communities Strategy, includes all of the projects, programs, and policies that will help us meet our goals. And Chapter 3 discusses how we will fund and deliver the projects in the plan. If you want to dive into all of the data and details, there are thousands of pages of appendices covering everything listed on this slide, from project phasing to active transportation to goods movement planning. We've shared many resources with you this evening. Last but certainly not least, I want to direct your attention to an interactive map and data viewer, which is available to guide you through the processes used to develop all of the projects included in the draft plan. Shortly, we'll open up the meeting for public comment. I encourage you to share your feedback with us tonight. But if you want to take more time to process all of this information, review the materials online, comments can also be provided through an online comment form, email, voicemail, fax, or mail through August 6th. We have more virtual open houses planned and 2 virtual public hearings with our Board of Directors and Transportation Committee in July. These virtual events are an additional opportunity to provide comment and share your feedback about the draft 2021 regional plan. I also do want to mention that we heard there's a competing meeting tonight with the county. This meeting that you heard tonight will be recorded and we can share that as well. So the regional plan public comment period is open through August 6th. Later this summer, the draft environmental impact report, or EIR, will be released. And throughout the fall, the team will review all of the feedback we receive and will ask our Board of Directors to adopt the plan and certify the EIR at the end of this year. If you missed it earlier, here's another chance to scan the QR code on your screen with your smartphone to access those regional plan resources. All right, now we'll move into the final portion of today's event, the public comment session. I'd like to introduce Hope Riley to facilitate. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you so much for being with us. As Allison mentioned, my name is Hope Riley, and I'm here to facilitate the public comment portion of our meeting this evening. As you're probably aware, this is your opportunity to share your feedback on the plan. Your comments today will be documented and formally responded to in the final regional plan. You can submit comments using the raise your hand feature in Zoom. Those calling in can press *9 to raise and *9 again to lower your hand. If you wish to speak during public comment, please raise your hand now so we can get an accurate count of our speakers this evening. Thank you. When it's your turn, we will read out your name or the last 4 digits of your phone number and unmute your line. You will have 3 minutes to make your comment. Remember, this is your opportunity to give us your feedback about the draft plan. Comments should remain respectful and focused on the content of the draft 2021 regional plan. Inappropriate language will not be permitted, and disruptive participants will be removed from the webinar. At this time, I'm going to be taking our first speaker. I see Ricky Williams as our first public comment speaker. Ricky, we're going to unmute your line, and you'll have 3 minutes for your comment beginning now. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Hello, I'm Ricky Williams with the County of San Diego. I want to say thank you to you all for all the hard work that went into the creation of this plan. As was shown on the slide, there is a lot of information in this, and it's all excellent stuff. And I have 3 questions I wanted to ask tonight. The first being, within the RTP, we identified that there are roadway pricing and fees that are included in some of the future implementation. I wanted to ask a bit more of how these funds raised from these proposed user fees would be allocated amongst jurisdictions and what types of projects the funds would be used for. Second is, I would like to hear a bit more about flexible fleets. I know there's a variety of mobility options identified for flexible fleets, and I'm curious which options are envisioned for deployment in the unincorporated areas and along these rural corridors. And finally, I'm curious to know what types of investments would be included along the complete corridors. I know you went over a lot of the safety investments, but in terms of technology improvements related to electric vehicles or other, what we would say, GHG reducing activities are envisioned along these corridors. So that is it for my comment. Thank you.
Thank you, Ricky Williams. At this time, I don't see any other hands raised. Did anyone else wish to speak and offer public comment this evening? We'll give you just a moment to raise your hand, or if you're joining by phone, to press *9 now. Okay, seeing no other public speakers, I'm going to go ahead and conclude this evening's open house. Thank you to everyone in attendance and to the County Unincorporated communities for sharing your thoughtful comments this evening. I'd also like to thank SANDAG Second Vice Chair Sotelo Solis and SANDAG Tribal Transportation Working Group Chair Pinto for joining us today. It was an honor having you in attendance at this community open house. Our next open house is on Tuesday, June 22nd, and we'll have a sub-regional presentation focused on South San Diego County. Thanks again for joining us, and hope you have a great rest of your evening.